Now, get ready for the hottest podcast coming out of Dallas, Texas, with Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. Stars talking Cowboys. Let's go!
Yo, here we go again, back up on the scene. Stars talking Cowboys, you know what I mean. The podcast repping everything with silver and blue. Keeping it real, that's what they do. Let me tell you about the crew. Sean Fox, spitting facts. K Boogie's giving game. Nikki's got the stats, so of course she covers everything. It's showtime, so let's get to the biz. And that Stars talking Cowboys. Yeah, you know what time it is. Yo, welcome back to another podcast episode of Stars Talking Cowboys. Starring Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki is in the building.
You gonna dig this? Let's go.
What up, sup, fam? It's Stars Talking Cowboys. I'm your host, Sean Fox. The other one will be on here shortly. What's up, King? What's up, Natalie? You know, she has to make her grand entrance, King, so she'll be here in just a second. So, you know, where do we start? Before we get on these Cowboys, did you guys hear about the Brett Favre news? That he's accused of taking millions and millions of dollars of state money. If you haven't looked that up, what's up, Kelly? Yeah, he's you know, being accused being in cahoots with the one of the ex-governors of Mississippi, taking money to build a volleyball, I think a volleyball gym. He's stating that he didn't know that the money was coming from the government. Yep, so it was state welfare money. Yep, he said he didn't know where that money was coming from. But yeah, it's a $77 million scandal. I'm not saying he took $77 million, but it's a $77 million dollar scandal out there. So we're gonna see how that goes. Brett Favre, Alicia, Brett Favre. It came out. They got text messages between him and the governor saying pretty much he asked her, well, the media find out that he got this money, and pretty much she said no. So I'm pretty sure more details will come out about it, but you know, that's the latest news coming from there. Also, Michael Parsons was supposed to be on one of the I think Fox Sports talk shows. You know, and he decided that he was not going to join it, especially with the state that the Cowboys was in. And I thought that was a very admirable. Hey, Miss D, I thought that was a very admirable gesture on his part. His team is in. I don't want to say turmoil right now, but his team is not in good states. And he said that he, you know, since Dak was out and Dak was the undisputed leader of the team, that he wanted to focus on being a leader of the team versus being on TV right now. So, what you say? At least he's going to blame it on his drinking. All right, let's see, Andre. I see you got a comment here. Good evening, family. Tony Pollard isn't running or catching the ball. He shouldn't be in the game. His blitz pickup blocking is atrocious, to say the least. And if he picks it up, they run through him. I saw that numerous of times in the game. I saw it at least 3 or 4 times. When Tony Pollard was in the game, Tampa Bay would pretty much blitz the linebacker and the safety through both of the A gaps, and one of them would come through straight free. So, yeah, his blocking. And that's one of Zeke's strong points. Zeke is probably one of the best blockers, one of the best blitz pickup running backs in the league. So yeah, when Pollard's in the game, we need to be handing him the ball off or a quick pass to him. He is definitely not helping in the passing game. What's up?
What's up, man?
What's good?
Oh man, just right now, I'm just just answering some of the
Sorry I'm a little
questions,
late, man. I had to
some of the comments on there.
reset my
Yeah,
iPad. What's
yeah,
good?
you pulling a Nicky on me.
Nah, nah. I said, damn, I'm 5 minutes late. Let me hurry up. What's good? What's
So,
good? What's new?
so every sack that Dak took, it was Pollard's watch. Yeah, you know, and those are the things that comments like that. Those are the comments like that is for people who actually watch the game. They don't watch the results of the game. They actually watch the game. It's just like, me when I watch the game now, I don't just watch to see who's going to score and who's not going to score. I was watching the LSU uh, Florida State game, and when they got that kick block, the first thing I said was that left end that was blocking, that left up back that was blocking, he blocked out instead of blocking down, and that's how they lost that. That's how they lost that game. And a lot of people had to go back and look at it. But that's how I watch football games now. I don't just watch it just to see whether how many incompletions that Dak throws and this and that. I watch it to see why he threw so many incomplete passes.
That's easy, bro.
Sharif Collins here. Let's see. I think the Cowboys will pull off an upset. Kellen Moore will finally humble himself and allow the running game to carry the offense. I think Schultz and Ferguson can be dangerous in 12 personnel. Go back to pounding the rock and protect the O line. And this is coming from an Eagles fan. So that was a great analysis. That's coming from an Eagles fan because one of the things that Jerry talked about in the whole offseason was we're going to run the ball. Zeke is going to be the focal point of the offense. And look what happened.
Man,
We didn't
you
even
should
get
know
there.
by now. You can't believe nothing that Jerry says. You can't believe that. You can't believe him. He's a great salesman. You can't believe that, man. Everything that Jerry says, you do the opposite. Trust me, you think the opposite. There ain't no way what was 12 personnel? There was no motion, there was no nothing this game. Nothing. So
Nothing.
Jerry just needs to relax, let Big Mike say something to somebody else and just don't say nothing. Because he's putting more fuel to the fire. You know that. Every time he talks, he's putting more fuel to the fire. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I didn't show you, but I know I've seen a few steal picks of the, of different plays when everybody was saying, well, first of all, let's get into some topics first. You know, who do you blame for that loss on Sunday? I'll start with us analysts. I'll start with us hosts here until Nikki gets here. But who do you actually blame for that loss? What you say, K Boogie?
Shit, I blame Jerry Jones for this damn loss. I blame him on every. Listen, like I put in the other chat, what did the Cowboys really accomplish this offseason compared to some of the other teams? Not a damn thing. You lose Amari, or you get rid of Amari, you lose Wilson and Collins. Where are their adequate replacements? This all falls on who? Jerry Jones. You are the GM, president, CEO of the company, right? You did not add the pieces that we need to be competitive on the field. And it reared its ugly head on Sunday night. Dak Prescott was basically unsettled in the pocket. I always tell everybody, I've been telling everybody this for months of years, when Dak is unsettled, he moves his feet. He doesn't plant his feet. He's always fidgety in the pocket. And I can see it. I said, this is going to be a long night. This is going to be a long night. So I blame Jerry Jones more than anybody else because last year we had better talent on our team last year than this year. And Jerry did not do a great job at replacing that talent. Yeah, we have some picks here and there, but he didn't do a great job, in my estimation, of replacing the talent that we lost. So that's who I blame for this. I blame him. I blame Kellen Moore. It was so easy to guard our wide receivers. There was no jet sweeps. There was no fly patterns, no nothing. All these curls and comebacks, the Bucks were sitting on the routes. What did Devon White say? We knew from last year what they was going to run. He didn't divert from anything. So between Jerry Jones and Kellen Moore and Big Mike need to say something, I mean, that for crying out loud, he needs to say, "Listen, man, they know where you're running. We need to try something different." He also needs to speak up. But for me, the ringleader is Jerry Jones.
So I've been putting up the comments, and Carlton, this is one of the realest statements. You know, we talked about this. Me and K Boogie and them, we talked about this in one of the chats. But that is one of the realest statements that is I've seen thus far. Kellen Moore cannot scheme his receivers open.
Yeah, that's a true statement.
I mean, and that's 100%. And and I see a lot of comments, about Dak. No, Dak did not play up to par. But I'm gonna ask a question with that. How could he? Can you name one impactful receiver that we have on our team, not named CD Lamb? And CD Lamb only caught 2 of 11 passes thrown to him.
2 of 11. But you know what's funny? We talked about that a couple months ago when I said, listen, the first game of the season, I said, if somebody else needs to step up because they're going to either be real physical with our wide receivers or they're going to double CD Lamb. And it was both, and they did both. And my thing is, if you can't run deep, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you can't, you got to scare them. You got to put fear in the hearts of a defensive coordinator. Even the cornerbacks, they were sitting on the routes. They're like, man, they're not going to run past us. I'm going to sit on this route. And that's why Dak started to force the ball. I'm like, dude, call something different. They was bracketing the coverage, and I'm like, damn, we done. We done.
So when you guys get a chance, there's a couple of still picks of the passing game out there. Tell me which receiver is open, and you tell me who Dak should have thrown the ball to. There was. I'll give him that on that scramble pass, and if you want to be honest about it, it was a busted pass
Mm-hmm.
that Dak scrambled out to the right, and he should have lofted the ball
Yes.
over the defender to Noah Brown going toward the sideline instead of throwing it back towards the middle. I don't know if he thought that Noah Brown was going to sit or what, but that in my essence, it was a bad pass, but it was also on a busted play.
Yeah, it was.
So you know. Hold on, let me get
Oh,
back to some
watch
of
it,
these comments
Foxy.
here.
Watch it. They're gonna think you love that. You better watch it. You better watch it.
And then our offensive line. I mean,
Mm.
uh, what's the
But wait,
kid's name? Go
but
ahead.
Taylor, he didn't play too bad. Taylor Smith didn't play too badly. He didn't play. It was
Tyler.
Steele. I mean, Steele was the weakest link. Steele had 4 penalties on one play. He was a drive stopper, and I've been saying he's not strong enough to play right tackle either. He's not strong enough. He was getting bullied. He got bullied last year as well.
So Daryl, when you get a
Hmm.
chance, try to find, you know, try to find the overhead steals of that game, and you tell me if those were errant passes or was he just trying to force the ball in areas where he thought he could. Because I mean, let's admit it. The Tampa Bay defenders said that they knew
Exactly.
what we were going to do. They knew what
Exactly.
routes we were going to run. They knew everything about our defense. They knew that we were going to stick to the run game. They came out there and said it. So I want and I'm not sitting here trying to defend Dak. All I'm trying to say is, where else could he go? What else could he have done? Our running backs, if you look at, I look at like Aaron Rodgers. His running backs run towards the line of scrimmage and then out towards the sideline. Our running back does swing passes. So they're already behind the 8 ball because of the actual passes that they had, the actual passes that was thrown to them. Versus look at how the West Coast offenses, the San Francisco's, the Rams, uh, Green Bay. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Look at the routes of their running backs versus the routes of our running backs. And as somebody said, our receivers aren't schemed to get open. We just run routes.
You know, by Amari not being here, Amari and Wilson covered up a lot because they can run routes.
Yeah.
Amari and Wilson covered up a whole lot. And now people starting to figure out, like, wait a minute, Amari's not here, Wilson's not here. Who else is gonna run routes like them? We double CD Lamb. Who else is gonna get the ball?
And there you go, John. If you would have listened to what I said, I didn't say that I was defending that. I'm trying to talk about the offense. We're talking about the offense and the scheme of the offense. Dak is not the only person on that offense. And I wish people would understand. If you watch football for what it is, I just said that he did not play his best game. I just said that I saw him throw some bad passes. But he is not the only one on that offense. The offense does start with the quarterback, but if your receivers don't get open, who can you throw it to? I mean, I want that question answered. If your receivers can't get open, if you're getting blitzed up the middle and you can't step up and throw the ball to, how can your quarterback get to whoever he's going to get to? First and foremost, the offense starts at the offense starts with the offensive line first. I don't care how good your quarterback is, it starts with the offensive line. If you don't, if you feel like that, it's that a team is just a quarterback. Look at what happened to Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers had the same stats that Dak did because he didn't have any receivers and his offensive line was jacked up. So, and I'm not comparing Dak to Aaron Rodgers. I'm not doing that whatsoever. But as Brian said right here, if the receivers can't get any separations, the quarterback is going to be jacked up. Nikki, you're on mute. You're on mute,
Nick, what
Nikki.
up?
What's up, Nikki?
Yeah, we had the worst rate of actually separation. The worst. So we couldn't get any separation, man. So I don't know where they thought Dak was going to throw the ball to.
And so Aaron Rodgers had an off game, but they lost the game.
Yo,
They still lost the game because the quarterback had the same stats.
you know, Foxy, he wasn't the only one. Matt Jones had a bad game. Murray
Yeah.
had a bad game. So they all had similar games. Who was they going to throw to? But for some reason, you know, Dak, hey, he's the Cowboys, so Dak takes all the blame. Go figure.
No, you know what? That whole offense sucked.
It did.
The whole offense sucked.
The game plan was bad. The whole game plan was bad.
Terrible.
All that trickeration. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? When you're doing all these trick plays, that means, okay, I need to catch the defense off guard because if they know we're going to do, we're not going to do anything. That's all
Right.
what it is. I mean, all that trickeration like that, I'm like, come on, man. I said,
Third play of the game, you doing a double reverse? Who does that? Who does that? And no, I'm definitely not making excuses for Dak. I'm not making any excuses for Dak.
You can say whatever you want. It's not excuses. It's called logic.
I'm not making excuses.
Sean, it's called logic.
Yeah, I'm saying that offense was horrible.
It was atrocious.
The offense was horrible.
Yo, who's Dak gonna throw to? What you guys act like Dak is throwing to some all pros out here. Who's he throwing to? I want somebody to say, who's he throwing to besides CD Lamb right now on the outside?
We had a couple curls to the tight end that were successful. Zeke had a couple of good runs, and then he tapped out. You know, so Nikki, you still on mute? You can't come off mute.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm letting everybody talk. Let's get all y'all stuff in. Then I'll come in and say what I need to say because I'm still working anyway. So I'm just letting
Oh, okay.
everybody talk. I'm just looking at the comments roll because I got a whole lot of shit I need to say.
Yeah, you look like you about to go nuclear right now. You good, boo boo?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm frustrated and I'm just fed up with a whole lot of shit. And I'm just y'all go ahead. I'm here.
All right. All right, we
So
got you,
so
sis. It's all
so
good.
so right now, Sean, the only O line help we got is Peters, and
He's a
he
40-year-old tackle.
and he's 40-year-old tackle. That's the only one. Let's see.
God bless us.
So John, you just the second time you said that. Who else on the team? So everybody, the other 10 players on offense played a perfect game. I just want that answer question. The other 11 guys on the team, the other 10 players on offense on every play played perfect. If anybody can show me at one play that everybody played perfect, and I'm not talking about the 13, 14-yard pass to the tight end, because that was probably our longest pass of the game. But the other 10 players played perfect the whole game, and Dak didn't do anything. And that's not protecting Dak. That's just asking a question. We got away from the run. That, like the linebacker from Tampa Bay said, he said we
Right.
knew that the Cowboys were not going to stay committed to the run. So they dropped 7 in coverage all night, except for third downs when Pollard was in the game. They would blitz up the middle because they knew that Pollard couldn't handle it. And if you feel like that I'm wrong about that, go back and look at the film.
Yeah, you
Somebody
know
else
what?
said it also.
We didn't run any draw plays either. There was no 12 personnel, no motion plays, no draw plays either. Mm. We need a solution and fast.
So you said the same thing, that John, but answer my question. Did the other 10 players on offense play up to par too? Yes or no? If you tell me yes, I'll go back and look at the game for a third time and to see where I was wrong at. But tell me that the other 10 guys played good also.
And not
Tell me
only
that.
that,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So, what's the solution here? If that is not the answer, who's the solution and what's the solution?
yeah.
Sometimes, we talk a good game or whatever, but give me some solutions. Let's talk about solutions for once. If he's such a problematic player for the Cowboys, so what's the solution?
And
I
Carlton,
want to hear
the
some
line,
solution.
the Carlton, the linebackers said that they knew our plays. They knew we were going to run slants, quick slants, curls, and comeback routes. He said
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We posted that video too. We posted it. We posted it during the chats. I mean, I don't know if everybody else is privileged to those chats, but most of that stuff is on Twitter. Most of it's on Twitter, and Devin White, hey, he was really transparent, and he said, "Listen, this is what the Cowboys are running. They didn't deviate from last year. We knew what they were going to run. They didn't deviate anything."
They didn't. But and I'm still waiting on my answer. What other offensive player played well? I'm waiting on that answer.
You've
Tell
been
me what
waiting all
offensive
night.
player played well. Zeke had a couple of good runs. The offensive line, we had what, 8 penalties? 10. How many penalties
10,
we had? 10
10 penalties
penalties,
and
and
8 on the offense.
eight of them were on the offense. One of them was offensive pass interference. The other 7 were holding calls or false starts.
Mm, mm. No double moves. Mm.
So you said Noah Brown played well, but if he played well, who gave him the ball? You know, Zeke was running well, but we didn't keep giving him the ball. That's not your quarterback's call. That's the play calling. You know,
Mm.
so I'm trying to, I'm trying to be logical here. I'm trying to be, I said it. Dak played bad. I'm not saying he didn't, but so did the other 10 guys when it was needed. You know. So let's see here. We got a couple more comments here. Dallas has gone from being America's team to America's scheme. We have invested so much and have got nothing in return. Changes will never be made within this organization, and the one we want on the sidelines is coming because he will have no control. Won't come because he'll have no control. I mean, we all know um, what you know. That's not gonna happen. As long as Jerry is the GM, then that's it.
You
So,
got any scandals
twin,
coming
what's
out?
what's what's my solution? You asked me what my solution is. Moore has got to go. Moore and Mike McCarthy has got to go. Or Moore needs to go and McCarthy needs to call plays because he's not making any other decisions on the sideline. Didn't we have didn't we have an incomplete pass that we should have challenged? We couldn't have challenged because it was under 2 minutes, but we could have called a timeout and gave the officials time to look at that play for them to go back and challenge it. And we didn't even do that, and we had timeouts. Let's see here. Do we think it's true that Mike McCarthy doesn't know the offense because of verbiage? I haven't heard that yet.
I don't think so. He's been here, what, 3 years? He should know the verbiage by now. He's been here for 3 years. Why wouldn't he know the verbiage? I think somebody's just throwing that out there right now. He should know the verbiage, though. He's a head coach. He should know it.
So John, you just
He's
you
not the
just
answer.
made an oxymoron statement here. I'm not saying the team played well. What I am saying is Dakota Prescott is the answer, and this group protects Dakota more than the O line. So you're saying that the O line is not protecting Dak, but then you're saying he's playing bad. So that doesn't
And also,
correlate.
John, you need to go talk to Jerry Jones, not us, because we're not paying that. We didn't
Yeah.
sign that to a $100 million contract. We just spitting logic and facts. If you really have a problem with something, you need to call Jerry Jones and Steven. That's what you really need to call. Because we just gonna give you facts. We're gonna give you how we feel. But if you really do have an issue, you need to address it with them. Because my narrative is not gonna fit your narrative. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, the solution here, now that Dak is out for 46 weeks, let's run the ball. Ball control. We've been mentioning this for the last month. If we want to be successful right now until our wide receiver comes in, we have to control the line of scrimmage. That's it. I don't understand. It's crazy.
Kelly says, "Okay, here are my grievances. Kellen Moore did what
He does
he
best.
does best. Abandon the run game. He is not capable of scheming plays based off of talent of our players. The penalty was not addressed. Lamb is not ready to be a number one receiver. The O line is garbage. We lack a vertical threat. Let me finish this burger and I'll list some more. Let's see here. Moore was the best thing when Dallas was winning. Now he's a problem.
We
No,
never
I
said
I
that.
never nobody said that he was the best. Nobody ever said that. As a matter of fact, even before K Boogie got on this show, we were saying that he was running the stuff that he ran back from Boise State, and teams started going back looking at film from Boise State, and that's when the demise of the offense went down. If you notice, over the last 3 or 4 years, we would do good at the first part of the season, and then our production would drop off because teams started going to look at what he did in Boise State. That's what we said. We're not saying that he was the best thing. If he was the best thing when the Cowboys winning, he would have had a head coaching job.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. when is McCarthy going to step up as the head coach and say enough is enough? We've been saying that since last year. So with that being said, you done working, Nikki?
Job's still working, but on one but it's on one instance they want McCarthy to step up and do his job. Everybody agreed that McCarthy is not the coach that we expected him to be, and is not the coach that we want him to be. Everybody agrees that Kellen Moore is not the OC that we want him to be, and the OC that he needs to be. But yet, everybody is gonna still say it's all Dak's fault. Dak played horrible Sunday night. Dak did not play anywhere near the quarterback that we would expect of him to play. And I'm gonna take the money issue out of it because as of right now, Dak is the lowest paid quarterback. And on top of that, the quarterbacks that's making the top money played like shit on Sunday. So we're gonna take the money out of it. I don't give a damn about him being a $40 million quarterback. The point is that we need him to be the quarterback that he's supposed to be for this team. We need him to step up and be an elite quarterback to get us where we need to go. But can he do that alone? Can he do that by himself? Everybody always saying that Dak needs these type of receivers. Dak need a perfect team in order for him to be perfect, in order for him to be a good quarterback. So if that's what the fans think, and if that's what Jerry Jones and them know, well, why didn't they make the steps and do the right things and keep the team or keep the players on the team to make him the successful quarterback that everybody wants him to be? It starts with your owner. It starts at the top. The problem starts at the top. Then the problem trickles down to the coaches. Then it goes from the coaches to the players. Then the players have to make themselves accountable. I don't know how many times I have to say the problem, a whole bunch of problems with this team is accountability. Nobody wants to take accountability. Mike McCarthy is the head coach. You're standing on the sideline. You're seeing things that's working. You're seeing things that's not working. So why in the hell, as the head coach, you're not stepping up and stepping in and saying, hey, we need to fix this. This needs to be changed. Mike McCarthy has the ability to call plays. So why stand up here on the sideline with your arms folded and you see the plays and you see what Kellen Moore is doing, you see it's not working, and you don't step up to the plate and be the head coach that you were hired to be in the job that you were hired to do. We can name blame all day long. We can give Dak the blame every week, every Sunday, every time he hit the field. The problem still ain't gonna be resolved no matter who come in here because who you have at the goddamn top running the ship. Period. So regardless of how you feel about Dak, regardless of what, Dak is not the only damn problem with this team. He not. Yes, Dak is the quarterback. Yes, Dak is the engine of the team. Yes, Dak's supposed to take control of the team. But how much can he do by his damn self? Answer that question for me. How much can he do by himself? When Dak step on that field, on the offensive side of the ball, it's 11 goddamn players. When one person win, everybody want to take the credit for it. It's easy for everybody to take the credit for it when somebody win. But when you lose, everybody want to give one person the loss. It's a damn team effort. Everybody got to do their part on the field. Everybody. It's not about defending Dak. It's not about taking up for Dak. But goddamn, we all got eyes and we all can see. So I know if we all are seeing the same things. We're all complaining about the same things. But yet everybody want to give Dak all the fault. Dak definitely played a horrible game Sunday. He did. That was the worst I probably ever seen Dak play for me. And he had other bad games. But this guy, besides the playoff game that he didn't play good in, he didn't even play that bad in the playoff game. Dak played a bad game Sunday. And you know why? Part of it, I don't think Dak was sure of what he was going out there on the field with. I think he had the uncertainty in his own self of who he was stepping on, what he was stepping on the field with.
I
It's
got two.
easy
I
for
got two.
any
Yeah,
quarterback.
I got two words for you on that, Nikki, and I'll let you finish. Left tackle. Go ahead, Queen.
But nobody don't see that though. They don't see that. They don't see you need an O line. They don't see that. And of course, they want to compare Joe Burrows to it because, okay, yeah, he went to the Super Bowl in 2 years. But what ultimately failed him in the Super Bowl?
His O
His O
line.
line. What failed him Sunday when he got sacked 7 times?
His O line.
His O line. That can make all the plays you want him to make. He can do all you want him to do. But if he ain't got the goddamn protection, then what you want the man to do? If he ain't got the receivers getting separation down the field, what you want the man to do? He can't throw the ball to himself. So y'all want him to run the ball. Y'all want him to pass the ball, block for himself, run the ball, make the touchdowns, kick the ball, make the field goals. Then y'all want him to flip over to the defense side and stop the damn run. Defense held their own. Yes, they did. Defense kept us in the game. Yes, they did. But I still seen a problem with stopping the run. Leonard Fournette, overweight ass. Overweight. And that come from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Overweight ass. Still ran for almost 130 yards.
And I think he
Even though
averages.
that didn't
Yeah,
decide the game.
I think he averages like 65 yards over the last couple of years or something like that a game.
Come on, man. This team got bigger problems than that. It's bigger than that. But we about to see Sunday what Cooper Rush do. We about to see how much we about to see all this coming these next couple of four weeks. We about to see how all this shit about to play out. And I want the same folks to get on here Monday next Wednesday and tell me the same damn thing that you seen. The
So
same
Sherman,
stuff you
Sherman,
complaining about.
before I shut this girl's mouth, I will block you off this show. So you can forget that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. It's problems all through this team. All the way through from the top to the bottom. And not so much on the defensive side because Dan Quinn has worked with the defense. He has got the defense better. Besides Anthony Brown, trash ass still getting burnt. But Diggs gave up a touchdown at the end. But damn, the defense was tired by then. They were tired. Three and out, three and out, three and out, three and out. I'm mad. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. And I'm pissed and I'm pissed. I'm pissed at the team, but I'm more pissed at Jerry Jones because he put our team in this situation. He put us in this situation. He absolutely did nothing to help us. Nothing. I don't see how they're gonna help the offense. I don't see how.
I don't
To
see
be
either.
honest, I
Not
don't know
not.
how they're gonna help the offense.
I don't know either. The only thing they can do is run the ball.
Neither
I
one of them
mean,
stay healthy.
it's gonna be a problem.
And Gallup does not run routes. Dallas. Hold on, so I gotta address this. I'm not blocking people from speaking my mind. I will block you because you're telling me to tell this girl to be quiet. This girl got more football knowledge than 90% of the people I know. So it's not about speaking my mind, but you would not tell nobody on this show to be quiet, shut up, or tell them to whatever the hell you just said. You will not do that. Period.
He can hit the delete button. I know his delete button
Exactly.
work.
So I don't care who you are, what
And I didn't ask you to
what
come
group
on
you
here.
are. So you we would not tell her. You would not tell her. Speaking your mind, telling her to be quiet is not the was not what you're gonna do on this show. You would not do that. You can disagree with what we say. You can disagree You can disagree with what we say. You can disagree on our philosophy, but you will not silence anybody on this show. Period. And you will not come on here and tell us that. I have people every day come on this, when we talk about this show, tell me that I don't know this and I'm stupid and this that, and the other and this so forth and so on. But not one thing they have not never told me to be quiet. So sorry. Um, Back to football. Um, as we said, Nikki, we said that a couple of shows ago that the offensive line was going to be our detriment. That was going to be the detriment of the team.
You know what, yo? What if we just got beat by a better team? Nobody's saying, what if we just got beat by a better team? Tampa Bay was supposed to basically go to Super Bowl anyway, right? But what if we just got beat by a better team with better talent? In the bottom line, we just got outplayed. They knew our plays. They knew what we was going to do. We just got outplayed by a better team. That's it. So there's no matter how everybody can actually, screw it or whatever, but we just got beat by a better team. We just got beat by a better team. That's it. That's it at the end of the day. And if we do not improve, we're going to get beat by the Bengals. We're going to get beat by the Giants. We're going to get beat by the Commodores. We're going to get beat by Philly. We're going to get beat by everybody if we don't improve at the end of the day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Let me address Liggins.
Okay,
And Liggins,
go ahead.
Dara, I said that. I said that this is not the first time I've seen Dak play bad. I said this is the first time that I have seen him play this bad. He have bad games, but this is the first time I have seen him play this bad. And I said that. I came out saying Dak played a bad game. He looked totally unsure on the field. He looked uncertain on the field. This is year 7. We are expecting more from him, not just because he playing for the Dallas Cowboys, but just because he is the quarterback of this team. And we are expecting more from him. We should see more from him. And I have said that. Even just typing and talking on Facebook, I have not one time said that justified how Dak played in this game. From the time Dak stepped on the field to the time Dak got hurt, he played a bad game.
Can you list again the quarterbacks that played bad this past Sunday? Can you say them again?
Who was Murray? Murray
Mhm.
played bad this week.
He
A-Rod
played
played
bad.
bad. Matt Jones played bad. So many quarterbacks played bad this weekend
What
because
about your
they
Super Bowl winning quarterback from last year? How did he play Sunday?
who?
I
Oh,
mean,
you mean
Stanford
Thursday?
Thursday. He played
He
bad
played
Thursday.
bad. He played bad. It
He played
Aaron,
bad
happens.
Thursday.
Aaron Rodgers, the MVP of the last 2 years. How did he play Sunday?
He
Horrible.
played terrible. He played terrible. They all played terrible. A lot of quarterbacks play terrible, but that gets all the blame. He played bad.
This
Yeah, we know he plays bad, but it's like if Dak plays bad, the sky's falling. But when the other quarterbacks play bad, the sky's not falling.
they're gonna bounce back next week.
You know what I'm saying? It's just different. It's different mentality. I don't know what it is about Dak Prescott. I don't know what it is about him. I'm not gonna bring up the whole Romo crap anymore, but it's just something about Dak Prescott. A lot of our fans just don't want him to be quarterback. I'm gonna keep it 100. I've seen so many posts. I'm like, damn, okay, he played bad, but who's he gonna throw to besides CD Lamb? Schultz couldn't do anything. As soon as Schultz caught the ball, he was on him. They were on him. So who do you really want him to throw the ball to? That's why getting rid of Amari Cooper and not resigning Wilson will be a detriment to the team. Not unless Cindy could step up and Tolbert can step up because we need speed. We need speed kills out here in the NFL. You look at all the top 10 quarterbacks besides Dak Prescott, look at their weapons. All the quarterbacks, look at their weapons besides, let's say, Aaron Rodgers, but look at the weapons. Look at all the weapons for the Chiefs. Look at all the weapons from Minnesota. Look at all the weapons for Philly. The Chargers. I can go on and on. The Raiders. Look at all the weapons they have. How many multiple weapons does that have to rely on right now on offense on the outside? One.
Aaron Rodgers lost his two top wide receivers from last year, and it showed.
Yes,
I
it's
mean,
gonna
it's just period.
happen.
It's part of football. It's
Exactly.
part of
That's why.
football. And I played in organized football up until I was 42 years old. I was on teams that we were the number one team in the country, and I were on teams where we were 3-5, 3-10. 'Cause we played between 11 and 14 games a season. But I was on teams where we were, you know, I think the worst year we had was like 4-6 or 4-7 or something like that. But you have the passing game opens up the run game. The run game opens up the passing game. There's concepts to football. I've never seen there hasn't been not one team that has won a Super Bowl where the only good player on the team has been the quarterback. We've had teams that win the Super Bowl that had dominant defenses that had average quarterbacks. But I've never seen a team win a Super Bowl where the only player on the team was the quarterback. The only good player was quarterback. That's just it.
I was on the phone earlier today, and I was talking to one of my good friends. I said, even Tom Brady needed weapons. I said, do you know when Tom Brady was at his best, he had multiple weapons on offense? He was breaking records and setting records because he had actually better weapons on offense. I said, all quarterbacks need weapons on offense. This is a offensive league right now. Nothing's predicated to the defensive side of the ball. If you can't score in this league, you're not going to win in this league. That's just what it is. And so, Jerry Jones, Kellen Moore, Big Mike, whatever you want to call them, we got a lot of work to do right now. If we want to stay competitive in the NFC and stay competitive period this year, we got some work we got to do. That's just bottom line.
Now Sherman, this is probably this is a true statement. We are tired of the team claiming greatness out of mediocrity, and that's what we have right now. We don't even our defense is poised to be a top 10 defense, but our offense is ranked 37th, 32nd in the league right now,
Maybe we overvalue our talent on offense. Maybe the Joneses overvalue the offense of talent.
and they sold us that overvalue of the offense. Just like they did the year that he thought that the same year before we brought Cooper in. This is the same scenario.
Yeah,
We couldn't do
we
we
saw this
couldn't do
movie.
we couldn't do shit on offense because we thought that we could have a one we don't need a number one receiver. We have other receivers that can step in. And we sucked the beginning of the year. We traded for Cooper and almost made the playoffs.
No, we did make the playoffs
Well,
that
we
year.
did
We
make
lost
the
to the
playoffs.
Rams. We
Yeah,
lost to the
lost
Rams in
to
the
yeah.
second round.
We made the playoffs and we lost to the Rams, and we should have won that game, but the Rams ran all over us.
Mm. I tell you, man, I don't. Yo, that's why I'm not really frustrated though, to be honest with you, because you can see certain things coming.
And
Because I'm like, wait
penalties
a
is
minute,
still a problem.
yeah, it's
Penalties.
always gonna be a problem with
Penalties
Big
is still a
Mike though.
problem.
That's Mike's fault. Big Mike is always led the league in penalties. Even with Green Bay, always. And so
The best
everybody
team
talks
as
about
a
it
yeah,
too. That's a
yeah,
problem.
the best team as a whole the Cowboys have had in the last 20 years was last year's team. And go back and count the penalties that we had in that game,
Especially the ones we had in the
in the
playoff
playoff
game.
game.
14.
Go back,
We have
go back and count
14.
the penalties for almost
14.
200 yards. Add those 200 yards to the total, and I guarantee you there's a different score. Go back to the rookie season basics and run the offense through. eh, we can't run it through Zeke if he gonna tap his helmet after
And
two
after
good
two,
runs,
3 good runs, yeah.
2 or 3 runs. Zeke is just tapping his helmet. When I saw that, and when they did it, Zeke had just got a good run, and they had a widescreen view of Zeke, and he was and came out the game. And then was the third quarter, and I knew they wanted to get Pollard the ball more. But there was a whole 2 series straight that Pollard was in the lineup, And as soon as Pollard got in the lineup on passing downs, what did they do? Blitz up the middle.
Yeah, he can't block for shit. Excuse me. He can't block for shit. He can't block. He can't pass block. That's why you can't keep him in there on passing down. He can't block.
And when it comes contract time, that's going to be Pollard's, downfall. They're not
Exactly.
going to give him elite money because he can't block. I think he's a hell of a back, but he just can't block.
Hey, getting back to what Liggett said about 2016, we had a great offensive line then too. Frederick was here. Since Frederick hasn't been here, our offensive line has suffered. And Zeke was a rookie then, and he had all the wiggle. So we can't get back to 2016. Actually, we can't do it. We have to come up with different schemes. We have to come up with different ways to win.
The thing of it is that we are more successful when we run the ball. At when we rush over 100 yards, I think they said over the last couple of years we were 20-3 or something like that. Is that what I saw? 20-5 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but we do a whole lot better when we run the ball. But that correlates to an offense. If you can't run or you can't pass, you're going to lose. If you can't spread the ball down, you can't get the ball down. If you can't get the ball downfield to get those safeties out the box, then you're not gonna have room to run. And that's what I saw on Sunday. We had no passes downfield. Hell, the quarterback didn't have time to throw the ball downfield.
They couldn't get any separation. I took some good notes, boy. I tell you, we had no speed on the outside, no separation, blanket blanket coverage by the cornerbacks, bracket coverage by the quarterbacks. Man,
There was one steal, the steal of the offense that I sent you in the chat. They rushed four and had seven guys in coverage. And around every receiver that we had, there was at least a minimum of two Buccaneers around those receivers. Around CD, they had three. Around the tight end, they had three. Poor little kid, what was it? The little kid, the free agent wide receiver.
Turbin.
No, not Turbin, the other
Oh,
one.
Houston.
Houston, poor Houston. He could barely get off the line of scrimmage. You know,
I don't know if he should start, but that's me. I was hoping that they would give Simi more playing time, and hopefully Colbert plays more because we need some bigger receivers. We need some bigger receivers with speed. If you're not going to go out and sign any veteran wide receivers, at least put Tolbert out there and give Simi more playing time. We need to be vertical right now, especially against the Bengals, because the Bengals gonna come in here and throw the rock, and they're gonna run the ball. So we're gonna have to match them. We're gonna have to match them, or else it's gonna be a blowout.
all right, so we done talked about an hour of all the negative stuff. What were some of the brights? I mean, there had to be some bright spots in the game. I mean, we held Tampa Bay to 18 points, 19 points, or however many
Defense.
points. Yeah,
Parsons, that's
my
about it.
Parsons, yeah.
Michael, he's like I told you before. He's the new leader of the team, in my estimation. He's a new leader. He's a new lion. I mean, he played good. If it wasn't for Michael Parsons, man, with those sacks, we'd be in trouble.
Daryl, the good thing about the game is it's a 4 o'clock game, so you can sleep
Yeah.
late and you can watch the game for 3 hours, and then you can get home at 7:30 or 6:30, whatever time zone you're in. You can get home at 6:30 or 7:30, depending on your time zone. Then you can chill.
Romo's calling that game too. Romo's calling that game, so it should be
Uh,
very interesting what he has to say. He's gonna call that game on CBS this Sunday.
so he said Micah and Diggs play well. I thought Diggs did a lot better. He didn't get beat on his double moves like he usually does. Um, mute Nikki. Uh, he didn't get beat on his double moves,
Not
and
talking to
that.
y'all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, shit, my bad. Hey. And then the catch, the touchdown pass that was Gibson. That was a hell of a catch. I mean, he was right there, but that was just a hell of a catch.
But you
So
know what though? I'm gonna give some big ups to AB. You know, AB played good coverage against Julio Jones. Y'all know that AB was right on Julio Jones. It's just the fact that that's Julio Jones. He's a Hall of Fame. Julio Jones is the closest thing to Calvin Johnson in my estimation. But AB played him tight. He's just Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? So we got. I'm going to show love to AB. We have to show love because if you look at the tapes, he was on him. It's just the fact that Julio Jones is bigger, has a bigger catch radius. So you got to give some love to AB this time. I'm not going to sit here and ridicule the man, but he did play. He did play Julio Jones really tight. But Julio Jones is Julio Jones. What are you talking about? Julio Jones runs the 40 and 4.32. Come on now. And safety came over late. And don't forget, Cooley. This is Julio Jones we're talking about. Just because he played bad with Tennessee last year, that was a quarterback that made him look bad. This is Julio Jones we're talking
And
about.
that's the reason why, as the coaching, you know who you have on the outside, and you know who you have them lined up against to go with. So that's why you keep that and you have it taken care of. Nobody is blind. Everybody know that Brown will get burnt. Tampa burnt. Antonio Brown burnt him last time, twice for touchdowns.
Yeah, he did
So
last year. He
they
did.
already know that.
yeah. So well, like you said, Brett made a kick,
Yeah, in the first quarter. That was his only attempt.
and let's see here. I got some more comments here. Let's see. I thought Smith was pretty solid in first NL left tackle. The sacks from his side came from blitzes that Pollard failed to pick up. The pressure was coming. He had one. He had one bad. That one that the one sack that the right end had a hit on Dak. He, that was he did really bad on that one. That could have been a worse hit than what it was. He blocked down, and the DN came right at Dak. So for his first game in the NFL, I'll give him I'll give him his props. I thought he did okay, but that one play, whew, that one scared me.
Mm.
Julio said he wouldn't play with us. He said he didn't want to play with the Cowboys. The refs didn't make any bad plays or bad calls. I didn't see any bad calls. That that offensive pass interference against CD, that was a little suspect in my opinion. I've never that wasn't the one of the worst push offs that I've ever seen. But that was a little that was a little suspect. I guarantee you that wouldn't be called that pass offensive pass interference call wouldn't be called later on in the season.
Shit, he
I,
flopped just like in basketball, man. He flopped
yeah.
just like in basketball. He flopped. That's what that was.
Oh my God! And still, Jesus Christ, still has turned into the to the what's his Connor guy.
Yeah, he replaced Connor Williams.
Yes. Oh my
And that one
God.
And
drive, and
Connor
that one
Williams
drive,
had a
he
great
had three penalties.
game in Miami. Amazing how players leave us and go play better. So that's coaching.
Kelly. Kelly said, "Give AB some love." Now, K Boogie, you're asking for a lot. Now I'm sweating like a hooker in church.
But Kelly, come on, man. I mean, seriously, this is Julio Jones we're talking about. Julio Jones. Listen, Julio Jones is a beast, but I think AB did a good job on Julio Jones. To be honest with you, he did. He did a good job. He got burned on a fly pattern. The safety was late getting over. I get it. I understand all that. But I'm just saying, this is one time when we can't say, "Damn, he had a really bad game."
Yeah. So and I look at it like this too. I've learned a lot since I've become a ref, and granted, it is high school refereeing, but generally, uh, you go into a game as a referee, and you don't have any stake on who wins or loses. But at certain parts of the game, you know that the game is probably going to be over. There are some things that you're not going to call. What we could do is we call them impact plays. If the play does not, if the if the penalty does not impact the play, then you tend to kind of let it go. Um, so if they're running to the right and there's a guy that's holding on the left, you know half the time you're not gonna call it unless it's just egregious. You know, so I can't say the refs had a bad, really called that game bad. I just said we played bad. So that's just my thought on that.
It was an
I
easy
do
call
not
to
want
me.
Antonio Brown. I'm sorry. I don't care how how much help that we need. I do not want Antonio Brown.
I'd rather wait for Odell on Thanksgiving than sign Antonio Brown right now. I'd rather wait.
So I just don't. Another bright spot to me. Um, well, no, let's go to injuries. Um, we had a lot of injuries this week. Was that Mama?
Chris is out too.
Is that Mama Nikki?
In the background,
No, that was my cousin.
Okay. Hey, cousin.
She gone. She had came by here for a few minutes.
Let's
She was like, "You're not
see.
gonna walk me out?" No.
what? What I missed? What?
She asked me I was gonna. She was like, "You're not gonna walk me out and tell me bye?" I said, no,
Damn.
bye."
Okay, let's see. I got some more questions. So we understand about the penalties, but can they change the momentum? Yes, penalties can. That catch that CD had, um, and they called the offensive pass interference. That killed the drive. I think
Penalties
we,
are a
yeah,
drive killer.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
a bunch
are
of them know.
in the NFL. They really are. Um, man, I just had a thought, and just lost it just that quick. I know what it was. What do you think about CD's body language after a bad play?
He's gonna have to change it. He's gonna have to change it, especially when he drops a pass or whatever. He has to change it. He has to be a more mature professional. That's all. That's all. He just have to change it.
All those guys have been ruled out for Sunday, Daryl.
Yes, they have.
Yep,
They're
Every
not
all of
single
them,
one
playing
of them have been ruled out for Sunday.
all of them. McGovern, I think they said 2 weeks. Curse,
two
two
weeks, two
weeks.
to three. Yep.
Basham, they didn't really give a timeline on Basham yet, but yeah, McGovern and Curse definitely two 2 weeks. And to be honest, I think the defense could be. I think the defense can survive without those two for a game or two, at least a game or so. I think we have enough depth on the defensive side of the ball to kind of help them survive. But it's that offense. It's the offensive line. It's the offensive side of the ball that's the biggest problem.
Everybody knows that too.
I
So I
think
know,
we
Especially,
should have at
yeah.
least went in Cam for a backup. I'm
I
tired of
don't know
addressing
about
that.
Cam. Cam.
Um, I guess a lot of people didn't see Cam play last year. Um, Cam had a chance last year to regain his spot at Carolina and be the top quarterback. He probably would have had a chance to still be there again this year. Cam wasn't good. He wasn't good. He came back that one game, bowed out, and everybody thought Cam was back. Cam got benched for Sam Darnold. Do we
Yeah,
not remember that?
yeah.
He got benched. The only
You
thing
might
Cam about to do right now is be in a couple of Madea movies.
bet on for RG3 if that's the case.
So I know this is Nikki's favorite subject, but think it's time to get rid of the offensive line coach?
He should have been gone. He should have been gone. He is trash. That line ain't been the same since Callahan left. That line ain't been the same since then. And if they had common sense, they would go call Callahan, dig his number up somewhere of them files, and call him because Philbin is trash. There's no way we should still be having these type of penalties on this line.
But that's Mike McCarthy, though. Mike McCarthy has been this way forever and
It's
ever. He's
coaching,
not changing. That's Mike McCarthy, though. He's always led the league or number two in the league in penalties on the offensive side of the ball. This is nothing new, though. This is
right?
a Mike McCarthy thing. So we got to get rid of Big Mike
Him
if
and
you want to
Kellen
see
Moore
real
and take
changes
all of them with him. We need a whole new coaching staff
on the offensive side of the ball, not
on
the
the
defense.
offense, on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that them boys on defense are playing. They're playing uh, for that our defense coordinator. I just, you know, I was so chilled about the loss on Sunday. I was chilled,
Yeah.
and then when it was time for me to do the show, I think that's when my frustration started. You know, because I watched the game again Monday. I watched the replay of it Monday, and I was like, why am I putting myself through this torture? Because I wanted to see the little things. And it's the little things that are killing this team. And that starts with the head coach. It's the little things. It's not well, the one big thing is you gotta change your fucking offense. You cannot come and do the same thing that you did against the just because you scored 30 some points against Tampa Bay last year doesn't mean that that's you're gonna have that same success this year. And they did it. But I think the thing that got frustrated for me is that as I was watching the game on Sunday night, and I usually go out with my fan club and watch at the club, but I had to work that day, so I got home and I decided I didn't want to make that drive because I had already worked 10 hours, and I sat down on the couch and I literally 3 out of every 5 plays on offense, I knew where they were going. I knew what they were going to do. So yeah, coaching got to do it. So let's say Carlton. Let's get to some of these comments here. Uh, O-line coach, head coach, offense coordinator, all should be fired. I tweeted that during the fourth quarter. Let's see. Alonzo had a comment here. As a QB, though, you have to allow him to get back into it. Just like the receivers Rodgers didn't throw to again after he missed that catch. Confidence killer. Yep. Uh, Brian, bottom line, nobody's being held accountable. Not even Jerry. They're gonna get Micah hurt or burnt out. They got him doing too much. But Micah. So what I did like about them and Micah was they put him and D-Law on the same side. They moved D-Law in to a tackle and put him outside of them, and that caused some pressure. Um, what I didn't like about that, I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, not from a Cowboy standpoint, is I didn't like that hit that
He was
uh
chipped. He was chipped.
it was chip, but that was more than a chip.
Yeah,
He
with
got
the hit with
chipped.
Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got
that
Hmm.
chipped.
yeah that
They
that
call
was
that
more than a
a big
chip.
chip. He got a
Yeah,
big chip.
And I think Fournette took his frustration out on Micah from one of the
last
hits.
year.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
So
good. It's part of the
let's
game,
see
though. It's
here.
part of the game.
Okay, Fox, for the viewer who asked,
Freaky Mike.
Brad Sham was the one who said that Freaky Mike isn't comfortable calling the plays because he didn't understand the Cowboys' version since he comes from a Midwest coaching system. Well, then if Mike said that, then he definitely shouldn't be our coach. If Mike literally said that, then he should not be our coach. Why? Because it's all the same concepts. They just put different words to it. That's it. When I was playing football, we were calling routes by the number systems. You know,
Yeah.
and the only thing you do now is you just put the words to the numbers. And
Mm.
if he can't get his company issued iPad and take it home and study the verbiage, and this is your third year here, then you definitely don't need to be the whole. You definitely don't need to be the head coach of the Cowboys. How can you have control over something that you're supposed to be in control of the team? And like I said, I looked at when I saw it in the first half that that we had that skip pass that the Tampa Bay wide receiver quote quote caught, and he didn't use his timeout to give the referees, the replay officials, time to look at it. Yeah, I knew we were out. We were done.
So let me ask you a question though, not to move ahead, but so what's the solutions? How do we beat the Bengals? Because the Bengals offense to me is more potent than Tampa Bay. Man, we in trouble. We in trouble. Wait a minute, we in trouble. We got to come up with some type of game plan to beat the Bengals, though. We have to.
We do. Can we answer Daryl's question real quick first? What do we think of the linebacker play? Fournette stayed in the secondary. I
He's running
thought
that
that
tackle.
I thought the first half that they did okay. I think that LVE played all right that first half. I just thought the second half they were just tired. Now I did see
Yeah.
one play where they ran up the middle. They ran through the left A gap, and he ran up the right A gap. Or if you flip it around, it's the he ran to the left A gap on defense, and he should have went to the right A gap because he was just running in space. So
They had him guessing. They had him guessing. That's what it was. He didn't know
so
which way they were going.
so back to the Bengals game. For some reason, uh, teams play better at AT&T than what we do. So I don't know what the solution is gonna be, um, because I mean the Bengals are coming in. If they take anything from the Tampa Bay game, I tell you how we could beat the Bengals. We got to find somebody that we could throw deep to because they're going to be
Yep.
expecting a short game again.
That's why we need Simeon and we need Tolbert. Because to be honest with you, Burrow, they turned the ball over 5 times, and Burrow was sacked 7. So on the defensive end of the ball, side of the ball, we got to just make sure the case doesn't go crazy. But when we have the ball, we have to actually have some vertical threats. We have to. Oh shit! What happened? What you see? Oh no, no, no! It's gonna be LSU versus Bama. It's gonna be LSU versus Bama, Playboy. Trust me on that. It's gonna be LSU. You see Nikki smirking and smiling. That's right. LSU versus Bama. You know what time it is. Roll Tide, baby. You know. You know.
Yeah,
They're gonna
cluck
have to
both,
take them.
cluck both of them teams. Brian says, first of all, don't panic. Run the ball, control the clock. Might look boring, but that could get us to win. Yeah, we definitely have to control the clock.
Don't tell
We should have. Hey, what you say, Nick?
What you say, Nikki?
don't tell us that, Brian. You need to call down to the stadium and tell it to Mike McCarthy, dumbass.
Kellen Moore, actually, not Mike McCarthy. It's Kellen Moore calling the plays. He wants to play
But Mike
video
McCarthy, the
games.
head coach. And another thing I didn't see once again, I didn't see any adjustments.
No,
None,
none,
not one.
none. You won't see him either. He's stubborn. He's stubborn.
Paul says he wants his Cowboys to play the same way they did in the '90s. I'm a Cowboy fan for life. I'm a Cowboy fan for life too.
Me too. 80s too. That was the 90s, the 80s too. 70s
I
as well. I'm
I go
telling my
back to
age,
the
baby. It is what
'70s.
it is.
We
That's
all
right.
are. Everybody on here is Cowboys for life. I don't think anybody would be on here if they wasn't Cowboys for life. And that's what the problem is. that we are so loyal to this team and we're not getting back what we're putting in.
Yeah, we need to change that though. I mean, Jerry has to see what's going on and really want to change it. To be honest with you, like I told you, he has the Al Davis slash George Steinbrenner syndrome. The Yankees didn't get back to prominence until George Steinbrenner was actually ousted from the major leagues for a couple of years. Maybe we need, Jerry to be in some type of scandal for a couple of years for us to do
Shit,
better. I don't
Jerry,
know.
Jerry done been in a couple scandals,
You need to be in some
but
hardcore scandal. I
he
don't
hit
know.
Jerry is the second most powerful person in the NFL.
Mm,
Let's just
that's
you
the
know
crazy thing.
let's keep it 100. Remember he got the owners in a little coup. They was gonna try to get rid of
Goodell,
yeah.
yeah, I
Jerry
know.
led that. That was on the
Jerry
Ezekiel
led,
Elliott thing. Remember?
Hmm.
Jerry led the Raiders to Vegas, led the Rams
In the
to
Rams.
LA. I
He he
know.
he 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 led Atlanta to get that new stadium. Jerry's the man.
But what is he doing for us though?
He ain't
Nothing.
For
doing shit
us
for
as
us.
fans.
Not
That's the
Nothing.
nothing.
thing.
Not a
What
dang
is he
on
doing for
thing.
us? You hiring Big Mike to be the coach who sat in the basement and studied analytics, him and his partners, and then when you get on the field, you don't use any of it. So what we doing
That man ain't studied nothing.
You gotta think about this.
here? Think about
You
that.
got you got a guy who talks bad about your team every single day, even in the off season, and you pick him up in a helicopter and host him on national TV in the middle of the week. You know
Oh Lord, you talking
what
about
what
Stephen
what,
A.
what
Punk Smith?
yeah, what other team in the NFL does that?
Mm, that's the craziest thing.
Terrell said he keep us in apparel. Well,
Hell no.
I swear if I get a refund on everything that I bought for the Cowboys, I could probably buy a house with it.
Yeah.
Damn.
And much as I'm sitting up here talking about him, I was right at the pro shop Saturday, just shopping
Yeah, but
like they had
we've
them
been
won the
fans
Super Bowl
though.
last
We've
year.
been fans before he bought the team. See, that's the thing. We've been fans before that. Tex Schramm, you know what I'm saying? Roger the Dodger, Thomas Hollywood Henderson, Billy Joe Dupree, Brian Springs. The list goes on and on. So we've been here before Jerry.
Yeah, but
So shit.
when, when Jerry started coming out with them, when Jerry started doing them Pepsi commercials and Nike commercials, all them commercials with Dion, this, that, and the other, then what we started doing? Buying them starter jackets, buying them hats. We started,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? So Jerry is a marketing genius. We cannot take that away from him.
He about the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that bread, I know, but still though, what we doing on the field though? I'd rather have championships than anything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
That's
say Jerry is about the brand. He about the brand of the Cowboys. That's what he's about.
Now here's probably one of the realest statements I seen today. The Jones family have $1 billion hobby. They can fuck up and still have the number one franchise.
Hmm.
And and
Yep.
and, and look at Jerry's comments. What are some of the comments he's been saying the last couple of
Hmm.
days, Nikki?
What he didn't have, I don't even know where to
you talking
start.
about Dak Prescott coming back 4 weeks
Coming
at a
back in
time, and I'm,
4
I'm like,
weeks,
what?
and he said that any fans that don't believe in the team, some stupid he said, and it just all show arrogant.
That he saw David slay Goliath.
Right? It's arrogance.
That's what he said.
It's all arrogance.
Oh
Need
Lord.
money, money, and greed. Let's see what Kelly got to
And
say.
ego. Don't forget about his ego.
Yeah, it's
Ego.
ego.
He has one of the biggest egos. Ego.
I cannot stand you, Kelly.
I used to get football horn excited every season. Now I'm drier than Sahara Desert
Oh
with
She
my
didn't
some
put the
God.
Y on there.
oh my God. I'm not playing with Kelly.
Kelly. What you doing, girl?
You know, well, if she like Magic City, you should be y'all
Right,
should
What
be
you
okay
right.
with it.
doing? Man, listen, we have to take her to Blue Flame too, but that's another conversation for another day.
No, we ain't going to Blue Flame.
Well,
I
damn.
mean,
Look,
not that I know about Blue
Ta-da.
Flame, but whew,
I'm like, well, dang.
we can't go to Blue Flame.
What's going on with Blue Fame?
Whew, it's ghetto fabulous
Man,
now.
Is
we
it?
we gonna have to
It's
do
the
something.
it's
We
the
gonna have to
ghetto
talk
it's
to
the
Jay.
ghetto Magic City.
Really?
Not
Nah,
that I
I
not
say
that I
Magic
know not
City.
that I know anything about it.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. It's all good. They had good lemon pepper wings, barbecue wings,
All
and
right,
nice
so now
thighs.
so we the
Y'all done shift the show. Y'all done shift the show.
so back to football.
Yo,
Who
back to
impressed you?
football.
What NFL team impressed you on Sunday?
Chiefs. The Chiefs,
Yeah,
everybody's talking about Patrick
I gotta say
Mahomes.
the Chiefs.
Oh, he's not going to do this because Tyreek Hill is
Cause
not. He
Tyreek
threw five
Hill,
touchdown
right,
passes. He
right.
threw,
He threw 5 touchdowns.
and I'm like, wow. So I can't wait to see them play the Chargers on Thursday night. Ooh, I cannot wait. That's going to be a
Um,
doozy. Miami, really?
I'm about to say
Hell, Miami?
Miami. I was about
But
to say
the,
Miami.
but the
I
What
Pats
was
have
a-
the
about to say
same problem that we
Miami.
have, though, but worse. The Pats can't do
But I
nothing.
think with Miami, I think the reason why it was kind of impressive because they one. I mean, let's be real. No one. Everybody say the same thing about that they say about Jalen Hurts. They say about Tua. So, to see Miami win the way they won and put the scores up they put up, yeah, that was good. Gino was another one. Was another good game. But I fought Broncos more than I say Gino balled. I mean, he
Hmm.
did play well. He did play a good game to beat Geno Smith. But the Broncos gave that game to them. I mean, what's his name? Melvin Gordon? Wasn't he the one fumbled twice at the
Now,
goal
he
line?
fumbled once and the other one fumbled. Williams and basically Melvin Gordon, they both fumbled.
Okay, so they both
yeah,
fumbled at the
yeah.
goal line. But really, the game didn't come to that. The game came down to the coach taking the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands. You just paid Russell Wilson all this money, and you paid him
Hmm.
that money to be the quarterback that you know he can be in that very moment, that type of moment. But you chose a 64-yard kick over your 200 and over $200 million quarterback.
See, it's
And
not even that. Next week he's coming
20
back
seconds,
to
20
home.
seconds
He's
to
coming
get
back to
you a
Seattle.
couple of plays. Yeah.
He's coming back to play in his old stadium. And you're not gonna let him win the game for you? I was like, yo, that's preposterous. That's the craziest thing ever. Let the man win the game.
Right.
I don't know what Hackett was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. Then what, he apologized a couple days after that. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's my fault we lost the game. Man, come on with that nonsense already. You knew damn
But
well what you
but
were doing.
wasn't his dad bad in college? Wasn't his dad not that good of a coach?
What you saying? It's in the blood? You say it's in
I
the
mean,
blood?
you said it. I just
It's hereditary? Oh
I
man. Oh
mean,
man.
sometimes
It,
some apples don't fall far from the tree. Look
you're
at
right.
Gary.
You're right.
Look at Jerry and Stephen.
Oh
Prime
damn.
example.
Yeah. What
No,
about Houston tying Indianapolis?
Yeah, that was that
That
was
no,
was a
that was
shocker.
surprise.
strange. Yeah, that was the shocker because I thought Coach would have blew Houston out.
Houston,
Chicago beating
Houston good.
San Francisco.
I wasn't too surprised on that um at all, but I will say that they kept Jimmy G for a reason. I can
Oh, of
see Jimmy
course.
G starting quarterback by game 6 if Trey Lance don't put it together.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know. I
And
don't
like I
think Trey
said, that
Lance
that
is ready.
Steelers that Steelers Bengals game. If you don't know, if you do not know if kicking is an important part of football, that
It is.
that Steelers Bengals game proves it.
What's the reason? Proves it. But what y'all thought about
Hmm.
how the Cleveland Browns got over on Panthers? I said they are some dummies. They are some dummies over there in the Panthers. dumbest. Like, how y'all let them get over on y'all like that?
Don't say that too loud because the Panthers play the Giants this weekend. Don't say that.
My
We need the
God.
Panthers to beat the Giants. Because if boy we go in that game 0-2 and the Giants are 2-0, Lord have mercy, Jesus.
And I was so mad at Detroit because they had a. I was like, how y'all let this boy escape like this?
Detroit.
Well,
That's
yeah, they
Detroit.
started off. He, the, the Eagles coach started off trying to pass the ball. It
Hmm.
didn't work out, so he
So they
came
ran
back
it
and started
and
running the
ran it.
ball, and
Yep.
that's what won him the game.
Mm.
Justin Fields played like that because had been a 49er instead of Trey Lance. That was a bad pick. The jury is still out on to me on Justin Fields. I still think that last year that they wasn't running the right offense for him, but we'll see. We'll see.
I still
And
think
then
Trey Lance ain't
somebody put
ready
up
yet.
here that Carter
He
put up
not
here
ready.
that the Ravens are going to regret not getting the deal
Paying.
done. Yeah,
Yep.
Lamar's going to get he going to get the thing of it is he had a nice big
He
contract offered to him.
right. The guaranteed money was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He want that money. He want the
The
guarantee just
guarantee,
in case if he
yeah,
gets
the
hurt. He wants
guaranteed
that
money
money.
was the problem. He like, if y'all could play, if the Browns can pay Deshaun guaranteed money, and he gonna miss 12 games, y'all can't give me. Y'all gonna just all y'all gonna give me for guaranteed money. So, um, he said he was gonna gamble on himself. So we'll see how it pan out.
He played the Jets. He threw a
But he
great
played the
pass for a
Jets, so
touchdown. He played
you
the
know,
Jets.
but he played the Jets. So we got to see how this pan out. With all the rest of these games. Did he make the right gamble?
Yeah, but Carlton, you can blame Cleveland for this. You
Yep, and
know,
that's why all the owners are mad at the Browns owner.
yeah, you can blame them for that because woo. So
Let's
like I
go to the
said, we got
next
Cincinnati
game.
coming up here. If they had Pittsburgh had 7 sacks against them, and that was without one of their best pass rushers for half the game, then I don't see why we shouldn't be able to get to Burrow.
Also, they have 5 turnovers. So I mean, hey, let's go. Let's go. Listen. We just need to run the ball, play smash mouth football, and let's try to get out of here with a win. Plain and simple. Plain and
So
simple.
if
Just,
we can
just
contain their offense and keep it a low scoring game, that's the only chance I see. I mean, it's definitely gonna have to be a 13-10, 17-14 type game. But this is the defense are going to have to carry us. We gonna have to pull the uh the 85 Bears out on this one.
and
You know,
Higgins is not playing out. He's still on concussion protocol,
yeah, he's in
so I doubt
concussion
if he's gonna
protocol. Yeah,
play. He's still in
yeah,
concussion protocol, so they're gonna be without one of their prominent weapons on offense. So let's see. Let's see. AB. AB's gonna take Boyd, so he's gonna line up against Boyd because Chase is gonna line up against Diggs. Not unless they try to flip flop, but Diggs have to actually go with Chase everywhere Chase goes. Diggs is gonna have to follow him this time. You're gonna have to follow him, just like you did in Alabama. You're gonna have to follow him.
yeah. It's like I said, it's so for me,
Talk about the
I
college game. How Alabama cheated Texas.
What you talking about? Ain't no cheat.
I just wanted to get your attention.
Ain't no cheating. I ain't cheating. I ain't cheating if you ain't trying.
Let's talk about how they cheated Texas.
Next
They know that
subject,
was they
please.
know that was a safety.
But there was a running back on the goal line, so that really technically wasn't a safety. There was someone actually right there. It's just the fact that the ball hit a defensive player in the face. So
When they seen Texas was probably gonna win that game, they started pulling out all them flags.
well,
hey.
I'm a Notre Dame fan, so for us to lose to Marshall after we played the game that we played against Ohio State, that was a shocker to me.
You lost your quarterback there.
We went from number 8 to out of the top 25.
Wow.
You lost your
Wow. Wow.
quarterback. That
Wow.
was part of it, though. You lost your quarterback, so it happens. It's crazy.
So
It's a
before you
private
got here,
game.
Nikki, before we got to talk about the Michael Parsons decide not to go undisputed.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was a very noble and mature decision
Mhm.
that he made, considering the state of the team. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I think that yeah, stand up kid. Best decision because the only reason why Shannon and Skip wanted him on there was just to stir the pot, perhaps get him to trip him up to say something, then it would have been a story, you know. And that was the best. Right now, I don't think any of them should be trying to do any type of shows or anything right now. Everybody focus should be football, should be the team focus right now, especially with the condition that we in as a team. That's what everybody focus should be right now. Um, Michael Parsons, he that dude. What can you say? He young. He's young, but he's very mature for his age. He peeped bullshit beforehand. He recognized it beforehand and said, this not the best idea. It's not the best option for me to do. I seen what Shannon Sharp tried to come back and say, it's all good if you don't want to come on the show. But it's the way you did it. It's the way that you did not let us know that you wasn't coming on the show. Like, everything was set up for you to be here and you didn't even tell us that you wasn't coming. So that's kind of what Shannon Sharp said on Twitter. On Twitter now, if it really happened that way, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He seen a better need of not being on the show. So for me, I feel like he did what was right for the team.
Did he sign a contract to be on that show?
Obviously not. I think they.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
As long as he
Eh,
didn't sign a contract, he's fine. If he
Well, that
did, there
definitely
could be
that
some
should definitely
issues.
let you know what type of person Shannon Sharp is.
And yet let you know what they wanted, what they was looking for.
Drama.
Drama, something to negative to say.
Mm, I don't know. Shannon Sharp to me, man, I don't know. Skip too. Skip's supposed to be a Cowboy fan now. Oh, he's a fair
Yeah, but
weather Cowboy fan.
he throw jerseys away every week.
They may be cheap jerseys. They may not even be real.
They gotta be because ain't no way you throwing away them jerseys. No $160 70 jerseys. Especially the stitched ones. I know you ain't just throwing them in the trash. So he must be getting them off the webs off of that. That's why they be looking small because he be getting them off that Chinese website. That's why they be looking like onesies when he put them
Oh
on.
my God. Are you funny? Oh Lord. Hey, I'm just glad he didn't go on the show. I mean, team person right now. He knows that there's a lot going on with the Cowboys, and he's the new leader. Like I said before, that he will be the new leader of the Cowboys. So he's the new leader. So to be a leader, you have to lead by example, and that's what he's doing right now. He's showing them, and listen, I'm not going to go on that show. All they want is drama. I need to be here with my team. We need to straighten some things out as a team so we can start winning some games. So I commend him for what he did.
I commend him for it. Yeah.
So Kelly says that
Oh damn, that could be a problem.
yeah,
Breach of
he did.
contract,
He
that could
did
be a
sign a
problem.
contract. It was confirmed by the Cowboys winning a team on a few of their shows. So
Oh
he did
shit.
sign a contract.
Lord have mercy.
Well, I mean, obviously it was an out to it because he wasn't able. Is he bowed out. So and even with Shannon, I mean, I'm not sure Shannon Sharp would say anything about it, but even with Shannon Sharp saying, um, it's not that he didn't follow through. It's just the way he did it. So obviously, it's not. He's not in any trouble for it. I mean, I'm sure he have an agent, and his agent probably one set it all up to begin with and said, "Hey, this is what we're not gonna do." So he didn't seem too worried about it because I'm figuring if it was contract to where it would be some issues, he probably wouldn't have bowed out like he did.
Well, a lot of these players on these little small side deals don't do everything, that they sign up for, so to speak. Like you had, some of the guys that sign up for these appearances and uh, jersey signings, this, that, and the other. They don't show up. You see all the time the people trying to sue them, for
Hmm.
stuff like that. So, I mean, it must, like you said, it must not have been a big deal for him to back out of it. If he backed out, it must not have been a big deal.
It must have not been that big of a deal.
Yeah,
So let's
I'm
talk
cross
about
my fingers. Cross my
the
fingers.
LeVon Bell and the Adrian Peters fight, and now LeVon Bell's talking about he finna be a real boxer since he knocked out Adrian Peterson.
I don't know. I didn't even watch the fight. I saw the highlights and I turned it off. He caught him with a left. All right, he just caught him.
I think it's a big joke. So, you know,
She said, "I have my own views on Michael for personal experiences, but we'll talk." Okay.
Mm-mm. Oh shit!
okay.
When they say we'll talk, oh damn, Kelly.
Oh Lord,
Oh
he
Lord.
he didn't take you to Magic City. Is that what you mad at him about?
Oh shit.
So what are we looking for? What are we looking forward to this Sunday? I mean,
Hopefully,
now that we don't have any expectations.
we have to have some type of expectations, a little bit, maybe a little, maybe a little. We are fans, so we want the best for the Cowboys. So
I mean, I want us to win. I hope we win. I hope we find a way to win. I want to see more motivation from especially the offensive side of the ball. Um, Play calling. And I'm gonna say this: we're all not fans of Cooper Rush, but as of now, he is the quarterback of the team. So as Cowboy fans and as that being our team, much as we may dislike a player, we need to rally behind him. We need to let him know that even well, that counts. That sounds kind of shady. What I was going to say. Let him know even though we don't like him, we still want you to win.
God.
It sounds kind of shady, but he needs to know that that the fans are behind him. You know, he needs to know that regardless of what our feelings are about him, we are standing behind him, and as as the fan base is behind him. Because at the end of the day, if he fail, the team is gonna fail. So as Cowboy fans, um, we need to rally behind him. We need to say, hey, let's go win. Lord, I said wins. Jesus. Let's go rush. Let's get this win. Let's do it. He might surprise us. We don't know. He might surprise us.
We don't
You
have the
know,
same offensive weapons as last
Oh,
year,
child,
so
I
I'm
thought you was
hoping.
gone.
Oh my God. Well, hopefully Simi can, he gets a burn because I think him and Simi have a good connection because they practice a lot together. So I'm looking for that connection. Other than CeeDee Lamb, because we have to run some post patterns. We have to get vertical on them. If you're not going to get vertical on the Bengals a couple times and then run the ball, they're going to put 8 men in a box. They're going to put 8 men in a box and dare you to pass. That's what's going to happen. They're going to stack the box. They're going to stack the box. I mean, that's why I'm
yeah.
saying the first play, go deep, do something, send me run, fly, do something. We got to do something. Two verticals at one time, I don't know, something. We have to come outside the box and just be aggressive and learn how to make adjustments on the fly. Mr. Kellamore, please. Please, pretty please. We're asking you, please. If not, we ain't gonna be in trouble.
Brian says everyone. I like I said, effort. I don't want to see. These guys aren't in high school anymore. When I see games, I'm on the sideline and teams play bad. The first thing the coach says is, "Well, we're gonna be running in practice tomorrow." These Cowboys can't do that. These are professional, so they can't do that. But we got to do something. You know, and as a fan of football, I just want a good game. I want a game that I can watch from beginning to end and not want to turn it off at halftime. That's all I'm looking for this Sunday. Not having to turn the game off at halftime. I think I didn't go to my watch party last week, so it's I'm going. I plan on going this week, and I don't want to have to sit at our spot at halftime. I wish I was on my way home. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. So
Mm.
Carter says Kellen Moore needs to open up that playbook and find some multiple motion, double move routes, and pick plays to get these receivers open. That's it. Travis just says good luck. I feel you, Travis.
Listen, you got to get CeeDee Lamb open. Run more motion, do something else. You have to get CeeDee Lamb open. Because if CeeDee Lamb, we all know that he performs better in the slot, but you're going to have to put this man in motion, just like they do with Mr. Jefferson in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson goes in motion a lot. So then when you put your wide receiver in motion, then you know if they're in man or not. So we got to do some different things. I want to see CeeDee Lamb be productive. He wears 88 for a reason, for crying out loud. You got to start performing like an 88. And that's what I want to see too. I want to see Simi get busy, Tolbert make some plays, and I need to see CeeDee Lamb be that number one wide receiver because we need him to be a number one wide receiver right now. He's the only
Yeah,
number one option we have.
but we don't have 2 and 3, so
That's why hopefully Simi and Tolbert can do something. Unleash Simi, let him run deep, do something. He's our new Miles Austin with hands. Let him do something. Houston is not a vertical threat at all. Houston's not going to run by anybody. So he activated him, put Tolbert in there with Simi. Please, I'm begging. I'm begging Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy to do something different this game.
you know what? I'm pretty sure that Rush has a rapport with some of these second string guys. It's just maybe he can. We can get those guys in there. Like I said, I just want a good game. I don't want no more, no less. I just want a good game, and hope that I want to be able to walk away and say, you know what, at least we play hard. And you're right. I really wish we didn't get rid of Cedric Brown. When I saw that he signed with Miami, I was like, oh my gosh, that. And then Cooper was gone. I couldn't believe it.
And those are two wide receivers that has a good rapport with. Wilson and Amari. Teddy Wilson loss is real big, though. He's real big. He came to clutch with us a couple different times. He came through in a clutch. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, not Wilson. But what we can do right now is just hope for the best. That's it.
Yep. So what else we got on topic?
One of the topics was basically, is it time for us to draft a quarterback, another
Oh, most
quarterback,
definitely.
so Dak Prescott can have a viable backup? That was one of the topics. Because hey, we need a real backup. We need to start grooming another quarterback. There was one time when I know that when Big Mike was at Green Bay, they used to draft a quarterback every year, and Big Mike said, "Listen, you don't know what's going to happen with your quarterback, so we have a philosophy of drafting a quarterback every year." So he comes to the Dallas Cowboys and he doesn't do that, or he doesn't tell them the philosophy, which I think is a mistake. You should draft a quarterback every year, just in case. We need to start grooming and having a viable backup for Dak Prescott because the last couple of seasons he's been injury prone, unfortunately. It's like this whole Romo thing all over and over again, and I see a pattern here. So I'm like, listen, maybe we need to draft a quarterback just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think the biggest thing is, we've said this multiple times that we need to bring somebody in there um, that will compete with Dak for that starting job,
Mhm.
and we haven't done that.
Mhm. And that's what I said. I've said that. We've said that multiple times on the show. So that's why I don't be understanding why sometimes people feel like we constantly protect Dak, or we constantly, giving him right when he's wrong. Because we said it on the show plenty of times. Dak is comfortable in that position because he doesn't have real talent to push him or to make him feel like someone can take his job. And that's what we need. And that, I mean, that's what you need. You would say he a professional, so he should need anyone to do that. But sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you need someone breathing over you, standing on your shoulder, to make you say, "Let me get my stuff together," because this dude is two steps behind me to take my job. You know. So that's what we need. We need that.
You know, they bring somebody in. I mean, Nick Foles is available, isn't he? You need to bring somebody in. I
Yeah.
said it before. I think that needs a mentor as well. When you go through these adverse conditions, you need somebody to turn to besides your coach that can get you through these tough times. And I've always said, that perform better when he has a mentor. When he doesn't have a mentor, I mean, hey, everybody needs a mentor anyway. When you're going through adverse times, you need somebody else to fall upon rather than your coach or your manager or whoever. So bringing in a
And that's why I
veteran,
didn't understand that, as much as Jerry and them love Romo, why they didn't make him the offensive coordinator. As much as they love Romo, why didn't they just say, hey, why didn't they make him the offensive coordinator? Because he
if
was,
Romo
as
wanted
he
to,
was one of he was very good with that.
so was Mark
Well,
Sanchez though. Mark Sanchez
so
was good too though.
Cooley
Yeah,
has a
so
point here, but I wanted to play for those individuals who hadn't heard this. I wanted to play this clip real quick uh, from Devin White um, of Tampa Bay.
Last year we learned that they really wasn't going to commit to the run game, and the runs that they did, they was going to try to get outside and not run into the interior. But most of the running game was quick game. A lot of curls, a lot of hitches, a lot of slants and stuff. So we kind of knew that going in, so we was able to attack it. Last year we learned that they went.
I mean,
ouch.
the man is telling you that he knew what we were going to do.
Mm,
He just straight up told us that.
mm. You know, that's why Todd Bowles at halftime didn't relinquish anything with the game plan. He said, well, they playing hard, they're gonna keep with the game plan, and that was it. He was short and sweet. I said, yeah, they know something that we know, but they're not gonna say anything. It's the same damn game plan from last year the Cowboys were running, and there was no adjustments made. So it was easy pickings, unfortunately for us.
Yep. Let's see here.
Wait a minute, does anybody know what Kellen Moore said to that? Was it a rebuttal from him or any comments? Nothing.
I hadn't heard anything. Nikki, you heard anything out there in Dallas?
No, Kellen Moore not gonna talk. He very seldom talk to the media or say anything.
He should though. We got to say something. I mean, it's his responsibility to change up the game plan, make
It is.
adjustments. It's up to him,
And maybe
not
he
Mike
didn't say nothing
McCarthy or
because he
anybody
know he
else.
don't. He know he didn't. He know he don't.
Mm.
So I'm gonna just stay out the I'm gonna stay out the fire. I ain't gonna even respond to this.
So Cooley, I don't necessarily say he has to compete for a job, but we need somebody to push him.
That's it.
His best years have been when he's had somebody in his, in his ear.
Hmm.
Not an offensive coordinator, but another player. You know, I I was about to make this statement earlier, and I had forgot to say it. But the most successful offenses that we have in the NFL right now have come from the tree have come from other successful offers. Just like back in the day, when San Francisco had we had Bill Walsh, and then you
Mm,
had the Bill Walsh tree, and those teams started succeeding. Now we have the Shanahan tree. We have the um, what's his name in L.A. The McVay tree, and you got the Kansas City tree of coaches that are coming out. You have these offensive geniuses whose coaches have spread out in the NFL. Where's our which one of our Mike McCarthy, he came from the West Coast offense, but we're not running the West Coast offense. We're running Kellen Moore's offense versus what's been successful in the NFL lately. So he said, who pushes the other quarterbacks? Um, so when Hundley played for Baltimore last year, no, he's not. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he came in and did a hell of a job while Lamar was out. I'm saying stuff like that. I'm not saying that to bring somebody in to replace Dak. All I'm saying is, you know, you, generally quarterbacks, back in the day, you know, you have to have somebody inside in your locker room who's going to push the players, who's going to police the players, and right now we just don't have we have Dak, and then what do we have behind Dak? I guess that's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying, Nikki? Or
no, you
yeah,
just need somebody to sit there and push you, especially when you basically doing drills on you in practice. Like, listen, if I can throw a perfect ball, you can throw a perfect ball. If I can see the field a certain way, you should be able to see the field a certain way. No, we get it. It's just the fact that the Cowboys get it, the front office get it, because we've been saying the same thing for months. That needs basically have a viable backup, somebody to push him.
Right.
But
It's
they're
it's
not
not
listening.
it's not
We
competing for
talking,
his job.
just need somebody to push him.
Right. The only way he would be competing for his job is if he didn't have a contract and someone else was on the team as well and they were trying to decide who they were going to keep between him and the other person. If Dak wasn't under contract, then that would be a competition for his job. But players get benched all the time because they not playing good. So
Mhm.
I mean, all the time, players get benched. So you have to always know that someone behind you is willing or trying or can or will try to come in and take your position. So you don't have anyone to push you to that level. You you
get
get cool.
complacent. Yeah, get
You
You
get
just
complacent.
really
chill with it.
complacent.
I mean, we do that in everyday work. If I know I ain't got nobody behind me that's trying to get my job and get my position, I'ma chill on it. That's part of why my ass up here working 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that nobody can take what's for you, but sometimes you just need that extra help, that extra boost to say, okay, maybe I'm not doing this. I need to start doing this. But in our actuality, it should come from your coaches to begin with. It shouldn't even be another player. It should be your coaches.
So Valerie, I don't know if you've ever played sports, but generally, like if you sprain your ankle, um, and then once your ankle starts to heal and you're well enough to come back and start playing again, you still favor that ankle, so you tend to injure another part of your body, whether it be your hamstrings or groins and stuff like that, because your body is still adjusting to that injury. I don't think that the injury to Dak's hand was because he was injury prone. I think that was just a
That was a miss blocked
yeah,
by
that was
Pollard.
it. Yeah, it
That
was a
was a
missed
miss
block,
blocked by Pollard.
and it was a unfortunate injury. I don't think that you know, like I said, I played sports. And even now, I referee. I twisted my ankle um, doing something else, and I went out there and I tried to still referee. And while I was refereeing and running up and down, I had a little small limp to myself. What ended up happening was because I had that sprain on my right ankle, I ended up having uh, hamstring. My left hamstring started hurting. It started twinging a little bit because I was favoring that right ankle, so I put more pressure on my left side. So that's how a lot of injuries tend to happen. If you have a shoulder injury or elbow injury, then when you're throwing and things like that, you kind of hold back a little bit. That's when you strain muscles in your back and things like that. So yes, he was slow. He, yes, but he was slow because of his ankle and his cleats. I mean, that's marketing and uniform. That's on them. That's the makers, or I don't know what shoe he had or how they made it, but sometimes certain brands aren't made for certain
Certain athletes.
situations. Yeah,
He has
Hmm.
the Air Jordans on. He plays with Air Jordans.
Yeah, it was Air Jordans, but
yeah,
I don't know what happened with them that they was tight, and I'm sure he was gonna try to have them on because that's he signed the deal with them. But
yeah.
some things you just can't put on your feet. So I don't know. Let me read this comment from Zeke real quick. Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott, who had 10 carries for 52 yards on Sunday. He said, "We just got to commit to it. We got to wear on the defense." Elliott said he doesn't know what the number needs to be, but he definitely thinks they have to commit to running the ball. 10 runs is not enough. And true, but you got to stop tapping your helmet too.
Yeah. That's
So basically, he telling Kellen Moore, "You're not giving me enough runs. You're not giving me enough carries in the game. But if you tap in your helmet, then are you sending a smoke signal to Kellen Moore that you can't run anymore? We need to change up from running the game because you're tapping your helmet."
that's true. That is true.
Well,
Well,
I just
guess
want to
what?
see a good game Sunday. I just want to
That's
see
all I want to
competition.
say.
Even if we lose, I want to see a good game. I want to see that they tried. I want to see that they put every effort into trying to win this game.
And if you want a
I,
little bit
I,
of,
I
if
agree,
yeah,
Carlton.
yeah,
I
if
agree.
and if you want a little bit of hope, we have the first part of our schedule. Is we go through the hard part of our schedule at the first part of our schedule. I'm not saying this is the NFL and anybody can win on any given Sunday, but our schedule kind of weakens as the season goes. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to predict anything, but we'll see what happens.
Just control the
Well, guess
line of
what?
scrimmage, control the trenches, run the ball, have a couple of explosive plays, make some timely kicks, and let's get out of here with this win. That's what we have to do.
Yep. And Carlton says the last 10 of games are winnable. All we need to do is go 10-7. That should get you in the playoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Should.
We got to step up to the plate though, and it's all the way around. It has to be a team effort all the way around. Um, you can't just sit back and just say, "Okay, well, I'm gonna let this person do this person do that." It has to be a team effort. Is Peters playing this week?
No, he shouldn't play. He should wait until the Giant game. Because the Giant games on Monday night gives him an extra chance to get in football shape and to practice a little bit. He shouldn't play this week. No, I wouldn't play him. He's not in shape yet.
Okay,
All
okay.
right. Well, guess what time it is?
That's
10
old man
o'clock.
time.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, you
It's,
know it's 10 o'clock.
it's old man time. But what y'all think about the fourth down call up in Denver, or did y'all speak on that? Yeah, Darryl, put the crown down that I sent you.
I forgot to send you my address, Nikki, didn't I?
Yeah, still, I'm like,
Yeah, let me
man,
send you my address for you send it back to send Daryl another bottle.
I was at the
No, no.
post office. I said I couldn't do this for a living. I was so mad trying to pack them during boxes and make sure y'all stuff don't break and all that. I was like, this ain't me. This ain't my job. This not for me. You know how
Get
you
your
just
brother
know
right.
something ain't for you? It ain't for me. But I'll make sure you get yours, Fox. I'll make sure you get
Oh, don't
yours.
worry. I'm sending the address right now as we speak.
Oh my
I was so
God.
mad. I'm at the post office. I'm like, I know he see me calling his phone. I know he do.
I
I was
was
like, you know
refing a
what?
game.
His
I was
bad.
I was refing a game. I was in the middle of refing a game. I
Okay.
promise you I was.
I get it out to you. I get it out to you this. I get it out to you by tomorrow. Just try so I can get it to you by Saturday. Great show, family. Nikki, can you send me a bottle too? Sure. Send me your address, Carson. No, I said, so I was
Peter
making
should
one
play because we
so.
lost McGovern, so we have another short line. Well, let's hope.
Lyle. No, don't do it. Don't. I'm telling you, he's not in football shape yet. He's just gonna go
I
out there
haven't
and pull
even
a
looked to
hamstring.
see what they said about that situation.
Yeah, that ain't
I
that
have
ain't
to
came
look
up
it up
yet.
and see.
Mm-mm.
But I
Don't
thought he
force it.
would have probably played because McGovern was out. So I was like, they probably will try to play him, because McGovern is out. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to look it up, Cooley, and I'll put it in our chat.
Hopefully, he won't
But
play. We have 17 games. 17 game season. Why rush it right now? Why? It doesn't make sense. Think about it. Let's think long term instead of short term right now. Why play the man? Doesn't make sense to play him right now. We
because
just
they
said the
got
back
they
end of our schedule was light, right? So why play him right now
but do
if
you
he's
see
not
but
ready?
did you just forget that fast who you have as coaches and who you have running
I
this
get
ship?
it. I understand. But if you play him and he goes out and he pulls a hamstring or a quad muscle because he's not in shape, because that's what happens when you go out there and you rush and you're not in shape, then we're going to be in a worse predicament.
Yeah.
Think about it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
All right then. Well,
Well,
any last statements? Well, I want to say this before I get my last statement, or you guys could. One thing, we'll always, we've always said on this show, speak your mind. We have no problem with you speaking your mind, telling us how you feel. This is uh,
Safe space.
a safe space, as K Boogie called it. It's a safe space, and we appreciate every comment that comes on here. And believe me, once there are times where we talk about these things before we come on to the show, and we don't always agree on things. So let's not, make the mistake of looping disrespect and not allowing people to have, to say their feelings. To say their piece. Everybody has their opinions about football. Some of my best friends, you know, don't like certain players on the team, but that doesn't change my opinion of them, or of them being my friends. So please continue to come on the show, say what you have to say. This is not a one-sided. This Our show is not one-sided. It's not the Fox K Boogie and Nikki show. The show is called Three Stars Talking Cowboys, the good and the bad. So but when you come on the show, please show us respect as hosts because you're on this show with us. And one thing I will never tolerate is disrespect. And the one thing I definitely will not do is tolerate disrespect to my sister. Period. So I want to get that out there before we uh, get out of here. Daryl says you look like you got a new hat on, Nikki. That you stay out that pro shop.
mind your business there.
He all in your cookies, huh? He all in your cookie jar, huh?
Mind your business.
Oh
But
dear.
since you want to tell people business, why was I in the pro shop there?
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Come forward. Come to the front of the line, sir.
Do I need to
Let the
cash app you some
congregation
money?
speak.
Do I need to cash app you some money to go to the pro shop for me?
Come to the front of the line, sir. That's why I gotta go to the post office again.
Lord have
But
mercy, Jesus.
All right, K Boogie, what's your you got any final
Nah,
saying?
just no. Thank everybody for coming to the show. I understand that these are trying times for the Cowboy fans, right? So the last two games that regular season games plus the playoff games hasn't been the best showing, right? So I understand a lot of people are frustrated and they're emotional right now. All I have to say is don't let this get to you. There's always going to be a brighter side of certain things. We're just at a turbulent time right now. We'll get over it in due time. Just be patient. This is a long season. Anything can happen. Just be kind to one another. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to tell anybody to be quiet or shut up or whatever because we all have opinions, right? So we all can agree to disagree and keep it moving. That's it. Let's be grown adults here and we can agree to disagree. But hey, thank everybody for coming out. Hopefully we can pull this game out against the Bengals. Let's go.
All right, Nikki, you want to bring up the rear?
Yeah. I just want to address the fact that you know about the fake fans. I see that a lot. That when people give opinions or people give their thoughts on a player, or because it's a player you don't like, the first thing people want to say is, "Oh, you're a fake fan." Uh, you're giving your opinion, or you not agreeing with a certain situation doesn't make you a fake fan. No one knows your relationship with the Dallas Cowboys personally, behind the scenes, before we even became friends or known each other. No one knows your relationship with them and why you chose them as a as your team. But again, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. And it's about being respectful to each other. We're not going to all agree. We all know that by now. No one is going to all agree on anything. If we all agree, then there would be no reason for us to have a show, to even sit up and talk and discuss opinions and people's thoughts. If we all agreed on everything, that's what it's about, having disagreements. People bring different points and different views to you. I might have looked at something one way, you seen it this way, and I might not even realize it that way. So it's just about what Sean and K Boogie said, respect each other. Um, I apologize if I came on the show a little over the top, a little overwhelmed. I was pissed. I was pissed. Of course, I spent my I was at the game, so I seen everything firsthand. To walk out that stadium with the feeling I walked out of there with after waiting all this time for the football season to come back, still in the mind frame of what happened, how we lost that playoff game. I was pissed. So my emotions was high. My emotions was high. I've been waiting on this show all week. If I had if I had and I didn't have these two, I probably would have did the show by my damn self Monday. But I knew I had to wait for them for Wednesday. Reason why I kind of went live on Monday by myself to address some things. But just respect each other. I appreciate each and every one of you taking time out your day, your schedule, your evening, night, whatever, to tune in to us. Nothing anyone say is wrong. Your opinion is always welcome here. That's what this is all about. We all have opinions, and regardless of what our opinions are, they're not going to change Jerry Jones and Stephen opinions. So there's no reason for us to fuss. There's no reason for us to get mad at each other. There's no reason for us to fall out with each other. At the end of the day, we have one common goal in mind, and that's for the Dallas Cowboys to win and for them to get us to at least an NFC championship game, possibly Super Bowl. That's all we want. And we all want the same thing for our team. So let's just not have all of the drama and the animosity. And again, let's remember, even though we don't like Cooper Rush, let's rally behind him as fans, as a fan base. Let's just rally behind him, rally behind the team. Um, with the state that they're in, to try to do what we can to pull out some W's. Because that's all we want to see. Because clearly, if we get W's, then we don't have these sad conversations and we can get some W's out of this. So that's all I got to say. And again, I just appreciate each and every one of you.
All right, guys, continue to follow us on Stars Talking Cowboys. Um, and we do have a YouTube page, Stars Talking Cowboys. So follow us on that. And once again, it's been wonderful talking to you guys. It's been a wonderful night.
This has been Stars Talking Cowboys, the podcast, with your hosts, Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. Be sure to check us out every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central. Also, hit us up on your favorite social media platform. Follow, rate, review, and subscribe.
See y'all next week.
Good night.
Peace.
Hopefully we'll be talking about a W.
That's
We
right.
All
Win,
will.
right.
baby. Win,
All
I'm gonna do
baby.
it
right.
like James Winston.
Oh y'all, God, that video of him though on TikTok, his eyes look like the guy from Waterboy.
I know. So we supposed to be ending the show, but right? Did you the one where she asked him was he hurt? And
Yeah,
he said, "What hurt?" I
it's
played. I
pain.
want to
It's
thank my
pain
team. It's
everywhere.
pain. It's pain everywhere. But what
Oh my
exactly was
God.
pain?
I'm like, this fool right here. What is he talking about?
What is he smoking?
Bitch juice. That's what he
Oh
All right,
Lord Jesus.
all
Good
right.
night,
Good night,
y'all.
y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.